setting up proper motivation, which consists of three parts: refuge field, Bodhicitta field, and the purpose of this practice. First, the refuge field. Let's visualize all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas in space in front of us, who are the inspiration for us, pertaining to cultivating the two wings to cross the ocean of samsara, to reach to the ultimate state of the two goals. Fearlessness, referred to as nirvana, and infinite happiness, referred to as Buddhahood. And refuge, the Bodhicitta field, visualize your two kind parents, all your family members, including your children, and all the beings, human beings, animals, insects, hungry ghosts, god and goddesses, spirits, Gandharvas. In fact, they're leaving none aside, including all of them with us. And the most difficult person, even that person requires the greatest of your compassion. And even all these, the wars, the border tensions, just think of all these people who are creating these. They deserve the maximum compassion, because they create so much negative karma, and then they have to bear the consequences in the future. So out of compassion for them, wishing that their mind be changed from this, the ill will, to compassion, embracing all others, from pushing others away to embracing all others with love and affection. So the world is going to be very different. That whole world leaders can learn from His Holiness the Dalai Lama how to embrace others rather than pushing others away from oneself. So the purpose of this practice is to awaken the perfect potential that each one of us has. The potential to feel the fearlessness and to feel the infinite happiness for yourself and for all dear mother sentient beings. These are two goals, and while these are two goals, we have the potential for these two goals, but why these two potentials not seen is because of the mental obscurations. The gold, when mixed with the mud, although the gold is there, but the glow you will not see. So, what are the two obstructions? There must be two obstructions, because the two goals are there, which you don't experience at the moment. They must be obstructed by two obstructions. What are they? The first one is referred to as the obstruction, the obscuration, afflictive obscurations, which stop you from experiencing fearlessness, the experiencing total freedom, and that is technically referred to as nirvana. And the cognitive obscuration, which blocks us from attaining the infinite happiness, technically referred to as Buddhahood. And given that you have these two defilements, our job is to remove these two defilements so the gold inside will manifest. And what helps us remove these two defilements is the extremely fine, extremely sharp X-like, the wisdom of emptiness. But this wisdom of emptiness, to what extent this wisdom of emptiness will work to get rid of these two defilements depends on your motivation. So given that there are two goals there, two obstacles there, the motivation should be likewise twofold. One is the renunciation to get rid of the afflictive obscurations, and the other one is the bodhicitta to get rid of the cognitive obscurations. What constitutes the afflictive obscurations? We said primarily contaminated karmas and afflictions. Within afflictions, we learn that there's a gross afflictions, and then the inappropriate attention, exaggerating the qualities of the object, and then the elaboration, self-grasping, ignorance, exaggerating the object per se. And the cognitive obscuration, what we learned yesterday was that the subtle smell of the smell of the garlic-like metal stains, which obstructs us from seeing all phenomena simultaneously. And what exactly is this cognitive obscuration is something that we have to learn separately, and some of you are going to remind me before we complete this retreat. Okay, so that being the purpose, Our job is to awaken the wisdom of emptiness. Our job is to awaken renunciation. Our job is to awaken the Bodhicitta. So these three are referred to as the three principal paths. And these three must be supported by single-pointed meditation, or referred to as the shamatha meditation. Okay, with this in mind, just create a very strong wish that my being here for 10 days, I will not only think of myself, I have a tremendous potential and to bring about happiness, joy for yourself and for all others. Not only your family, not only your country, people, but everyone in the world, not only human beings, even the animals, insects and so forth, not only the animate objects, but also the environment, delicate environment of the world. So, they have tremendous potential. Now today, by being here, I will learn how to see that I have a tremendous potential, so that I'm not being bogged down by my only small concern, underestimating my potential. I have a tremendous potential to work for the world, not only for myself, not only for my small family, but for the whole world. But that begins from the family. Charity begins at home. So with this in mind, and let us do these practices with the motivation to awaken these three qualities that refer to the three principal paths: renunciation, bodhicitta, wisdom, emptiness, supported by very powerful single-pointed meditation. Okay. And imagine that all sentient beings are joining you, and all Buddhist Bodhisattvas, they're watching us. Page 3. And here's with great compassion, you taught the immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And here's with great compassion, you taught the immaculate Dharma to dispel. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And through great compassion, you taught the immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations through the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations through the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sanje joda zoge jonam la chanju bardo dane gyabso che dage jinso kebe sonam ge dola penjir sanje rubaran sho sanje joda zoge jonam chanju bardo dane gyabso che dage jinso kebe sonam ge Chola benjire sanje rubare jo sanje joda soge chonam la chanju balo dane gyabzuch dage jinso gebe sonam ge chola benjire sanje rubare sho. Independent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness and no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace, which is free of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, which through the knowledge of all lead hearers seeking pacification to complete peace, which through the knowledge of paths causes those helping migrators to achieve the aims of the world, and through the possession of which helps subduers expand a variety of teachings. The one who has transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings. The teacher, Sugata and protector, to you I make prostrations. The one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally shines forth the forever noble light rays, to you the Buddha I make prostrations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato hyavatat tesham chayo nirodha Evam Bhati Mahashramanaye Svaha. Om Yedarama Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Dathagato Yavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramanaye Svaha. Om Yedarama Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Dathagato Yavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramanaye Svaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation of causes as well as taught by the great seer. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear light and non-composite. Such a nectar like dharma I have discovered. Finding no one who can fathom this teaching, in silence I will return the words. Okay, today I will explain this very briefly, this verse. This verse, it is said that the Buddha Shakyamuni, under the Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya, he became enlightened. And the whole purpose for the Buddha to become enlightened is to share this wisdom with other beings. On the contrary, the Buddha remained silent for 49 days, not giving any teachings. He was just remaining silent, meditating. And then the kings of the celestial beings, Indra, Brahma, here the people from non-Indian, you may get a little lost. What is the celestial kings? So it said that the beings, sentient beings, are in 3 different realms. Of course, we're going to study in more detail. 3 different realms. What we see is known as the desire realm. There are 3 realms: desire realm, form realm, and formless realm. There are 3 realms there. Form and formless we cannot see at the moment. So only with the deeper samadhi meditation, then you will have the ability to see these high realms. And even within desire realm, there are also some gods and goddesses. Even within the god and goddesses, we see that some are low level, some are high level. High level meaning they're spiritual, not really spiritual, more like the meditative experience. These two are very different. Spiritual practice and a meditative experience in the context of the Buddhism. Spiritual practice in the context of Buddhism is what you do has a benefit to protect you from samsara. So whereas meditative experience, even if you have a high level meditative experience, it can still be within the bound of samsara. Okay, so that we'll do a little later. And then the Buddha became enlightened. He remained silent for 49 days. And these celestial beings, they have their own kings, and the kings. There are 2 prominent kings. One is known as Indra, and another one is Brahma. So these 2, they have clairvoyance to see what's going on the planet Earth. So both of them, sensing that Prince Siddhartha became enlightened under the Bodhi tree, and the whole purpose is to share his wisdom with all the beings, that the beings be liberated from the samsara to nirvana and to Buddhahood. But then on the contrary, he remained silent. He is not giving any teachings. So, finally these 2 kings, they dissented, of course in the guise of the human beings. Then they went to the Buddha Shakyamuni, paid the respect, and they requested, please don't remain silent, please turn the wheel of dharma. Turn the wheel of dharma means give teachings. Please turn the wheel of dharma. Then the Buddha said this verse, profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear light and non-composite. Such is a nectar like the Dharma I've discovered. Finding no one who can fathom this teaching, in silence I'll return to words. So what the Buddha taught is that what I've discovered, the path that I've discovered is so profound, so peaceful. You experience it, you can feel absolute peace, no tension, no stress, no anxiety. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free. We talked about all these miseries started by the elaboration of self-grasping ignorance. So it's free of all elaborations. You are totally free. There's nothing which affects me, no elaborations to affect me. Clear light and the nature, what you experience is of the nature of the clear light. And non-composite, it's not created by any, the compositions of any constituencies. It's so pure in its nature. So this is what I've discovered. You experience it and you just, all your tension, miseries are distance, they are gone forever. And yet they're so profound that I don't see anybody around who can understand this. So I rather return to woods in silence in my own meditative experience. So this is what the Buddha said. Then the two kings of the celestial beings, Indra, Brahma, they made more requests. Brahma offered the wheel, symbolic of please turn the wheel of the wisdom, wheel of Dharma. Indra offered the conch, offered to the Buddha, symbolic of please blow the conch. Blow the conch, the sound of the Dharma should spread everywhere. And then the Buddha then turned towards his two teachers before he became enlightened. The two teachers who helped him to learn meditation. Acharya Alarakalam and Acharya Udreka, the two teachers. So he was thinking of first, because these two teachers, although their meditative experience was extremely high level, but they did not have the wisdom of emptiness. Because that these two teachers, they did not have the wisdom of emptiness, Buddha again left in search of the wisdom of emptiness. So the Buddha was so keen that, because that these two teachers were so kind to him, although they could not teach the wisdom of emptiness, but he simply wanted to share the first nectar of the Dharma with these two teachers. That through his clairvoyance, he searched for the true teachers, and it so happened that true teachers, they were too old that they passed away. Then finally, the Buddha headed towards Sarnath, Varanasi, and the teachings happened. Okay, and more details about these teachings, we're going to discuss what is known as the 3 turnings of the wheel of Dharma. This we'll discuss in the class. Okay, so this verse is here, we can see profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear light and non-composite. Such is the nectar that Dharma I've discovered. And finding no one to fathom this teaching, in silence I'll return to the words. Okay, we'll say this together once more. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear light and non-composite. Such is the nectar that Dharma I've discovered. Finding no one to fathom this teaching, in silence I'll return to words. Beyond utterance, thought and expression is the perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unceased, and has the nature of space, is the object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas, for 3 times I pay obeisance. And I'm sure that some of you a thought may come to you, thinking that the Buddha is already omniscient, he knows everything. So he said that there's nobody who can understand what I've discovered. And then the 2 kings, they made more requests, and Buddha started giving teaching. So which means this is like superficially, it's like contradictory. Because if there's nobody who can understand it, then what should he teach, no matter who requests, right? So why this is happening? If you have these questions, feel free to bring this up. Okay, but not now. Good. The 4 seals of the Buddha's teachings. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are the nature of suffering. All phenomena are the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Transcending sorrow is peace. The Guru is Buddha, the Guru is the Dharma, likewise the Guru is the Sangha, the Guru is the source of everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings from miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teachings until the end of the expanse of billions of aeons. The Buddha does not watch the negativities of beings. nor does he remove their miseries by his hands. His spiritual realizations are not transferred to them. It is by teaching the truth of suchness that beings are liberated. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered miseries gloom. If you are attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If you are attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If you are attached to own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view. Okay, now look, from the class we did yesterday, you read this, you get some idea what is being taught here. It says, there are 4 points identified. Number 1 is if you are attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. So the first point is spiritual practitioner. What's meant by spiritual practitioner? The meaning of this is there. If you are attached to this life, so a spiritual practitioner should not be obsessed with this life. This life is very important. It doesn't mean that you ignore. No, don't ignore this life. This life is very important. But don't invest everything on this life. Think of the future lives as well. For example, like small child. How do you distinguish between a small child and adult? Small child, generally speaking, sometimes adults are also small child. Right? Sometimes. So what is small child? Small child simply sees today, playground and today, and chocolate, teddy bear. That's it. But the elders, they see what is after 10 years, what is after 20 years. So therefore the parents, they make sure that children, although they don't like it, they will somehow make them go to schools to prepare them for their 20 years later career. So this is small child. When the elders, they see what is beyond. If you see only this life, you're like a small child. Whereas if you see beyond, take care of this life and take care of the next life as well. That is the adult or spiritual practitioner, number 1. Then number 2, if you're attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. Now, the 3 principal parts. What is renunciation? It says that renunciation is not feel attached to samsara. Number 3, if you're attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. Next is bodhicitta. What is bodhicitta? Bodhicitta is to work for sentient beings, and we should be very precise. The precision will come later. So the precision, for the purpose of precision, we are here together. Next is bodhicitta. Then finally, if there's grasping, so we talked about what? What's the opposite of wisdom of emptiness? Self-grasping, ignorance. So it says, if there's grasping the self, so grasping the self does not mean I, grasping the I. Self, for example, let's say that this flower, the word self can be attached to any other objects, not only with the person. Say, for example, you say that this flower is beautiful from his own self. You getting it? This flower is beautiful from his own self. So this is the word self can connote even the inanimate objects as well. Not necessarily they should be animate objects. So the grasping, if you are grasping at things as objectively real, you do not have the view of the wisdom of emptiness. So look, the 3 principal aspects of the path I came into the mention. Okay. I will say this together once more. If you are attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If you are attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If you are attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view. Page 14, in praise to Shakyamuni Buddha. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the fourth destroyer, completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme God of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the complete and fully awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings and go for refuge. When, O supreme amongst humans, when you are born on this earth, you pace out 7 strides, then set them supreme in this world. You who do I prostrate. With pure bodies, form supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, winner of the best, Lord to you I prostrate. With a supreme science, face like a spotless moon, color like gold to you prostrate. Dust free like you, the 3 worlds are not, incomparable wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, filled married with qualities like a vast ocean. To you the purity that frees from attachment, the virtue that frees from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dhamma that pacifies the prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show the path to liberation, wholly feel qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the modern precepts, to you the Sangha I prostrate. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly, this is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flame of lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud, see conditioned things as such. Through this merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the four faults and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness and death. Heart Sutra, page 29. Heart Sutra, page 29. Okay. And some of you may be wondering, I already read it yesterday, why should I have to read it again? Right? Some of you have these questions also. Right? I already read it, I know what is in there, so why should I be reading again and again? So if you have such questions, don't hesitate to bring this up, right? Not now. Page 29. I remember the 3 points. Say the 3 points not miss when you read the Heart Sutra. And the one, okay, with the background information. 1, what is the question asked by Shariputra to Arabalokiteshvara? Number 1. Number 2, what is the response given by Arabalokiteshvara to Shariputra? Number 3, what is the benefit if you practice as taught by Arabalokiteshvara to Shariputra? What benefit do we get? That all fears will dissolve. And this is the only gate through which all the Buddhas of the past, present, future traverse to full awakening. So, if you want to get away from suffering, if you want to expand your happiness, this is the only gateway to know the reality of emptiness. Okay. The Heart Sutra, the Perfection of Wisdom Sutra. I prostrate to the Aryatubal gem. Thus did I hear at one time, the Buddha was dwelling on the massive Valchas mountain in Rajgriha, together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Buddha was absorbed in the concentration of the categories of phenomena called profound illumination. Also at that time, looked upon the very practice of the profound illumination of wisdom, and it beheld those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then through the power of the Buddha, Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arabalokiteshvara: how should any child of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound professional wisdom train? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arabalokiteshvara said this to the Venerable Shariputra: Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound professional wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly, beholding those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form, form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, fading, discrimination, composite factors are empty. Shariputra, likewise all phenomena are empty, without characteristic, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no composite factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object of touch, and no phenomenon. There is no I element and so on up to and including no mind element and no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance and so on up to and including no aging and death and no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation path. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment and also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in professional wisdom, the mind without obscuration and thus without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the end point of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the three times also manifest the complete awakened to unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment in reliance on the professional wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the professional wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequaled, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies soul suffering should be known as truth, since it is not false. The mantra of the professional wisdom is declared, Deyata Om Gade Gade Bara Gade Bara Sam Gade Bodhi Swaha. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva should train in the profound professional wisdom like that. Then the Buddha rose from that concentration and commanded the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Avalokiteshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage, it is like that, it is like that. One should practice the profound professional wisdom just as you've indicated, even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Buddha having thus spoken, the Venerable Shariputra, the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Avalokiteshvara, those around in the entirety, along with the world of gods, humans, asuras and gandharvas, were overjoyed and highly praised that spoken by the Buddha. As we recite this mantra, just imagine that you are in Rajgir, the place where the Buddha actually taught the Heart Sutra, where the dialogue happened. And imagine that the Buddha Shakyamuni was presiding over the congregation, and Avalokiteshvara, Shariputra, all the monks, nuns, all the bodhisattvas are there, and you are just where in the first row, and the Buddha is exhorting thus, then don't remain in the fears of samsara. Come to the ultimate happiness by awakening your Buddha nature. And you hearing this melodious voice of the Buddha, you then inform this to your true parents, your children, your family members, all the sentient beings living on the side, and that this is what our compassionate Buddha Shakyamuni is exhorting. Let us not remain in fears and tears anymore. Let us all go to His ultimate happiness by awakening the seed of Buddhahood within yourself. So, everybody hearing what you are saying, they are so inspired, and they join you in this journey of cleansing the mind to awaken the seed of perfection. With this in mind, let's imagine that we are all sentient beings are joining you in this mantra recitation, reminding ourselves of what the Buddha taught, reverberating, resounding with this melodious voice within us, and that we become committed to work to remove the mental defilements, so the Buddha nature inside within us is awakened. Deyata Om Gade Gade Paragate Parasamgate Bodhi Swatyata Om Gate Gate 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 Paragate Parasamgate Bodhi Swaha. by the teachings of the three supreme jewels possessing power of truth. May any and outer hindrances be transformed, may they be dispelled, may they be non-existent, may they be pacified, may all negative forces opposed to the Dharma be completely pacified, may the host of 80,000 obstacles be pacified, may we be separated from problems and conditions harmful to the Dharma, may all enjoyments be in accord with the Dharma, may all auspicions of perfect happiness pervade this place now. 8 verses for training the mind, page 35. Let us remember that what is being taught here is primarily for Bodhicitta, this unconditional love of Bodhicitta for yourself and for all demon sentient beings. And the Bodhicittas embrace everybody with love and affection, and the opposite of the embrace is pushing others away from you. And we have to get rid of these factors which push others away from you, including ego, anger, mental stress, and so forth. So, how to get rid of them? Identifying what are the causes, what are the factors which trigger these. And then trying to stay away from these factors, automatically these negative thoughts will subside. Once negative thoughts are gone, it leaves room for your compassion to grow. Okay. And then finally, make a very strong commitment that I'll become Buddha for the benefit of demon sentient beings. Okay. 8 verses for training the mind by Geshe Thamba. With the determination to achieve the highest aim for the benefit of all sentient beings, which surpasses even the wish-fulfilling gem, may hold them dear at all times. Whenever I interact with someone, may I view myself as the lowest amongst all, and from the very depths of my heart, respectfully hold others as superior. In all my deeds, may I probe into my mind as soon as mental and emotional afflictions arise. As they endanger myself and others, may I strongly confront them and avert them. When I see beings of unpleasant character and those oppressed by strong negativity and suffering, may I hold them dear, for they are rare to find, as I have discovered a jewel treasure. When others out of jealousy treat me wrongly with abuse, slander, and scorn, may I take upon myself the defeat and offer to others the victory. When someone whom I have held or in whom I have placed great hopes mistakes me in experiential hurtful ways, may I regard him still as my precious teacher. In brief, may I offer a benefit and joy to all my mothers, both directly and indirectly. May I quietly take upon myself all hurts and pains of my mothers. May all these remain undefiled by these stains of the 8 mundane concerns, and may I, recognizing all things as illusions, devoid of clinging, be released from bondage. Okay, the 8 mundane concerns. This mention 8 mundane concerns. We see that the people who are driven more towards 8 mundane concerns, they are weak. If we become so inclined towards 8 mundane concerns, we become weak. And where we are not affected by the 8 mundane concerns, we become strong. So, our job is that in our life, we get lots of punches from external factors, punches to make us run with tears, pains, anger, stress, and so forth. So these punches, when they hit you, you learn how to remain strong. What is the punches? The worst of the punches, some are very direct and some are indirect. So the 8 mundane concerns, they're indirect punches. And yet we are not aware of the 8 mundane concerns. So in the ordinary world, 8 mundane concerns, what's wrong with this? But for more evolved beings, for mature people, we see that these 8 mundane concerns are the ones which actually torture us, which actually create problem on us, which actually make us vulnerable, which make us weak. So what are the 8 mundane concerns? One, the becoming excited over material gains. If somebody gives you presents, yes, of course, we have to appreciate that. But then you become so excited, for example, like, how many have seen the Wimbledon winners? Wimbledon winners? Or the World Football Cup winners? What they do? They are serious like this. Oh, they're so excited. They're so excited. Almost like screaming, crying. Right? Crying. So this is excitement over the material gains and the fames. And then when you lose something, you lose some material things, you feel so low, as though the whole world has shattered, the whole world is gloomy. So which means that we are so weak, we are easily affected. So for example, somebody who can easily go into the crowd, let's say somebody with the fractured arms, somebody with arms, body intact. Of the two, who can go into the crowd easily without a fracture? You agree? Why the fractured one cannot go to the crowd? Because the fractured one is very vulnerable. Crowd, anybody can hit you and you will have pain. So therefore, the point is that you are vulnerable means you are weak. So these things like 8 mundane concerns, they easily make you vulnerable. They easily make you so, you are easily affected by these things. It means you are weak. Whereas like Mount Meru, no matter how strong the wind is, the Mount Everest will remain very strong and firm. Whereas the cotton, the wind is, small wind is there, little wind is there, the cotton is simply moved like this. So cotton is weak. The Mount Everest is very strong. Likewise, these 8 mountain concerns, they are like the wind. They blow, and we are easily excited, we easily become so depressed. Because of these things, we are weak. Whereas these things happen, still your mind is firm, strong, not affected. This is evolved being. So these are the marks that we need to remember. So what are the 8 mundane concerns? 1, gain in material gain, getting excited over the material gains, and becoming demoralized over the material loss. 2. Then number 2 is the excited over the pleasant words, right? Say some gossips, or let's go to the pubs, right? Even hearing the word pubs makes you excite you, right? Hearing the pubs, nightclubs, and all these mundane things, it simply excites you. And then say retreat, Bodhicitta, simultaneous, you feel tired. Right? Pubs instantly. Right? So that is where our mind is so vulnerable, gullible to the mundane pleasant words, and to hear this wisdom of emptiness. And this is, so here, you came here just for this purpose. But many of the people may think that, where did you go? Right? Okay. The gentleman here, your name? Yeah. Look, where did you go? Oh, I went for a holiday. Wow, amazing. What did you do? Bodhichitta Retreat. What is Bodhichitta Retreat? Right? What is Bodhichitta? And sit there, right? Attend the classes. Wow, this is not a holiday, it's a class, right? Okay, so look, when the people say holiday, they're excited. The moment they say Bodhichitta Retreat, class, and so forth, instantly it's like a balloon deflated. Okay, what happened to you, right? Okay, so this is excited over the unpleasant words, about the pleasant words, and the say demoralized over hearing the unpleasant words. Then say the excited over praise. Somebody praises you, so excited, right? If you are, let's say, if you are, say 30 years old. And someone says, how old are you? And you say, guess. You look like 35. What will you think? You feel so angry inside, right? So disturbed. He is saying that I'm 35, I'm just 30, right? Okay. Whereas, if someone said, you must be 25. You're so happy, you're so kind. What's the year? Somebody said that you are, say, 1 year younger, 1 year older. What's the benefit? You won't become older, you will not become younger. Why should you be so sad or excited? What's the year? But we are so weak, we're easily moved by even these words, right? Somebody thinks that, say for example, somebody thinks that, say you are like, actually you are 29 years old, and somebody thinks that you are like 35. But the person very diplomatic says, you look like 20. Actually, the person thinks very different. You look like 35. A person said, you look like 20. Thank you. Right? You're so happy. You do not know what's going in the person's mind. The person thought you were 35. But you're so happy. Just by the words, you are so happy. You are being just like a cotton, easily moved up and down. This is our weakness. This is not our strength. And ordinary people, we even don't know that this is a weakness. This is a weakness. This is what brings all the tears. Something goes wrong, the tears fall. One feels so agitated, disturbed. This is samsara. So, we should learn how to remain strong. And how to remain strong? No, I'll remain strong. But again, the next wind blows. As long as you remain as a cotton, the wind, you cannot remain strong. You have to, a cotton should eventually become Mount Everest. Cotton should become Mount Everest. You have to learn how to become Mount Everest. So this is what for we are here together. Okay, so next is praise, excited over the praise and the sadness over, or demoralized over defamation or deprecation. Somebody insults you, then you feel so low, so sad. So the joy over the praise and sadness over the defamation or degradation, the deprecation or the insults, criticism. And whereas then the next set, 7 and 8, is the happiness when you're so excited of getting some the happy moments, and very sad over getting some sad, feeling demoralized over getting some sad moments. So even if there are sad moments, good moments, you remain stable and calm. If that is what you can do, you are considered as evolved being. Okay. So we'll read this once more, verse number 8. May all these remain undefiled by the stains of 8 mundane concerns, and may recognizing all things as illusions, devoid of clinging, be released from bondage. From my 2 collections, vast space that I've amassed, from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds, wisdom, minds blinded by ignorance. Okay. Now today we'll read the 7-day practice. Yesterday we did not read this. And you may want to know the reason. Say, when we are undertaking a journey, almost all of us, we came, how many of you are locally from Dharamsala? How many of you locally from Dharamsala? Okay, 1, that's 1, 2, and then, okay, some from Tushita. Okay, otherwise, we are mostly from outside. From outside, we came with a bag. What is in the bag? Right? You have your preparations. The food that I need, medicines that I need, special things that I need, and so forth, the soaps, toiletries, whatever we require, we brought them. So, for a journey, we have to prepare ourselves well. And perhaps the deposit in the bank also. Without this, you cannot come here. Right? So, the point is that when we journey, any journey requires preparation. And the journey of the Buddhahood, this is the most important journey, and yet it takes a long time. Longer the journey, more the preparation required. So more the conducive factors required. So these 7 in practice, so all the Buddhas of the past, they have thought about how to make the journey of Buddhahood for all the beings very successful. So they identified 7 points as a preparation for you to have a smooth journey. So this is, say, the first one is make prostration. Make prostration to prepare yourself to learn from the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Then make offerings. Tells about the choosing Shabbat. Then confessing the negativities. Confessing your negativities. Then rejoicing in the virtues of others. Rejoicing in the virtues, not being jealous. And the requesting of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to continue to remain to give teachings. And then requesting Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to not to leave us, but be with us. And then dedicating merits for the benefit of the Dharma, for the benefit of sentient beings, for the benefit of yourself, become Buddha, to benefit all sentient beings. So these are the 8 factors, 7 factors, which are considered as the extremely efficient way to make your journey towards enlightenment smooth. And why these? And later on, you will come a little bit to know about the need for us to say for a car to go to the desired place, we need two things. There are many things required, but two things are necessary. One, steering should be proper. Steering for what? Anyone? Steering for what? Direction, right? Steering is purely for direction. Steering will not take you there. Steering will give you the direction. And then with the direction, it should move. What will make you move? What will make the car move? Huh? The wheels, right? So the wheels, no fuel, then the car wheel is there, then steering, the wheel will automatically move. Will not move without the fuel. It's not move. You're getting it? Okay. Wheel should be there, but constantly you have to feed that with fuel. You're getting it? Fuel is the energy. So while there are many other factors required like the wheel and so forth, but one is the steering to give you direction, and the other one is the fuel to make you move. Right? Okay. So likewise, we see that for the journey of enlightenment, we need the direction. The direction is the wisdom. And we need the energy. So all these things which I indicated here, they are like to give us the energy to move. Make prostrations. They can make offerings to Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Rejoicing, confessing, requesting for teachings, requesting the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas not to leave us, and dedicating merits. So these are all to create the fuel within us, so that our journey will not be interrupted. Okay. And in fact, each of the verse, in some cases, there are two verses for one practice. Just try to identify them, and it's self-explanatory. You read them, you will understand what they are. Okay, let's read them together. 17 practice, excerpt from the King of Prayers. Extraordinary aspiration of the practice of the Samadhi. I bow down to the youthful Dalai and usury. You the Buddhas, the lions amongst humans, gone to freedom in the present, past and future, in the world of 10 directions. To all of you with body, speech and sincere mind, I bow down. With the energy or aspiration for the Bodhisattva way, with a sense of deep respect, and with as many bodies as atoms in the world, to all of you Buddhas visualized as real, I bow down. On every particles are Buddhas numberless as particles. Each amidst a host of Bodhisattvas. I am confident the sphere of all phenomena is entirely filled with the Buddhas in this way. With the infinite oceans of praise for you, and the oceans of sound from the aspects of my voice, I sing the breathtaking excellence of the Buddhas and celebrate all of you Sugathas. Beautiful flowers and regal garlands, sweet music, scented oils and parasols, sparkling lights and sublime incense, offered to you victorious ones, the Buddhas. Fine dress and fragrant perfumes, sandalwood powder heaped high as Mount Meru, all wondrous offerings in spectacular array offered to you victorious ones. With transcendent offering, peerless and vast, with profound admiration for all the Buddhas, with strength of conviction in the Bodhisattva way, offer and bow down to all victorious ones. Every harmful action I've done with my body, speech and mind, overwhelmed by attachment, anger and ignorance, all these are openly laid bare before you. I lift my heart and rejoice in all the merits of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in these 10 directions, of solitary realizers here still training and those beyond, and of all ordinary beings. You who are the bright lights of the worlds in 10 directions, who have attained the Buddha's omniscience through the stages of awakening. All you who are my guides, please turn the supreme wheel of Dharma. With palms together, I earnestly request you who may actualize in parinirvana, please stay with us for aeons numberless as atoms of the world, for the happiness and the well-being of all wanderers in samsara. Whatever slight merit I may have accumulated by making prostrations, offering and confessing, rejoicing, requesting that the Buddha stay and teach, I now dedicate all this for the full awakening of all beings. Okay, next, a short mantra offering. Page 40, short mantra offering. The mantra offering, mandala has many connotations. Mandala the essence, has a connotation, the essence, the center, essence. And you're offering the essence of the beautiful things, all the desirable things, good things to all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. And also the mandala, like what you see in the ceilings here, they're painted with the mandala. The mention of the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, the place, the residence of the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, they also refer to as the mandalas. And then the whole universe is also referred to as a mandala. In other words, here we're offering the best of the thing that you can think of to all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas in order for you to accumulate merit. And this merit is the fuel for you to undertake journey to Buddhahood. Okay, and so here what is being the universe as depicted in the classical Indian cosmology, with the Mount Meru at the center, the four continents on the four sides, sun and moon. So this is just the cosmology as depicted in the classical Indian treatises, texts, and you can think of the whole universe, beautiful, every beautiful aspect of the universe you offer to the Buddhas. And from now, people, you think about the galaxies, Milky Way galaxies, nebula, and so forth. All the beautiful things in the universe, they all be offered to Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. Okay, and this hand gesture, if you know how to do this, well and good, but it's not mandatory. This hand gesture is not mandatory, and later on you can learn it. You can learn it from others. Okay, raise your hands, those who do not know how to do that hand gesture. Okay, not so many. So you can learn from the lady here. You can learn from the lady here, and so we can learn from each other. So three of you can learn from Ben. Ben is expert. Ben, you're expert, right? So the three Venerables will. Yeah. Okay, and okay, don't worry. So don't worry. You can learn it during the break time. They're too excited. They don't hear what I'm saying. Yes. Okay, good. Say this together. This ground anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the four continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha filled and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure land. O Session-Ven Geshe Dorji After making the offering, that we make requests to the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. There are two sets of the requests which are compiled here. The first one is from the four Dhammas of the Venerable Gambupa. Venerable Gambupa is from the Kagyu lineage, and he was incredibly great scholar, plus incredibly great enlightenment, and the enlightened being master. And he was the one. He was the student of Milarepa. I hope that we have all heard about Milarepa, the great saint who became enlightened within a single lifetime. And his student, direct student, Gambupa, and through Gambupa, then all these divisions of the Kagyu today, they came out from this great teacher. So, the next set is the compilation of the praise said by one of my teachers, Venerable Gelam Rinpoche, who was a hermit, in the same level, you go to a TCD school, a school there, and at top there's a small, hill or mountain. There was a group of the hermits there. So he was once upon a time. He was there, and when I was a small boy, he was there, and these four things are coming from him. And then later on, I added more from His Holiness to give a little bit of shape on the basis of His Holiness's teachings. So this is what we see on the basis of what requests we make to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas, that your journey of enlightenment becomes smooth and not distracted. Okay, let's say this together. May I be blessed that my mind was directed towards the Dharma. May I be blessed that my Dharma practice is on the proper path. May I be blessed that path is free of flaws. May I be blessed that the flaws are seen in the light of exalted wisdom. The four Dhammas, Venerable Bhikshu Mahasattva, becoming utterly frustrated with the ignorance that grasps its true existence, please bless me to generate genuine renunciation, seeing all aspects of samsara as viciously repulsive. Please bless me that my mind overflows with the precious Bodhicitta that cherishes others more than myself. Please bless me to have an immaculate experience of the wisdom of emptiness that does not see even an atom of intrinsic reality, on the basis of understanding how things come into being by dependent origination through mere conditioning. Please bless me that my mind overflows with the precious wisdom of the non-duality of bliss and emptiness. Edam Guru Radnam Lagam Nirateyami. Okay, so when we say Edam Guru Ratnam Lagam Nirateyami, means that I offer the whole universe to the Guru, to my teacher. Okay, so when you say this, what you do is that this is a hand gesture of the whole universe, the best thing that you can think of in this universe. You already offer to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. When you then say Idam Guru Ratna Lagam Nirateyami, you dissolve this, you dismantle this gesture, and so you now receive, you offered, whatever you offered, now you receive it back in the form of blessings towards your heart. You dismantle this gesture towards your heart. Edam Guru Radna Lagam Nirateyami. Why it was heart? Is that this heart is the place where the journey actually happens. The journey of enlightenment happens at the heart. So I request all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas to bless your heart, bless your mind, which resides, whose main residence is the heart. So request all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas to bless my mind, that my mind can undertake the journey of enlightenment. Good. Next, page 42, the foundation of all good qualities. Thus far is the preparation for your journey. Now, for the actual journey, you need the roadmap, right? Okay, now I'm prepared. So where should I go? How should I go? You need a map. So now this one, Foundation of All Good Qualities, composed by Lama Tsongkhapa, which has 14 verses. This is a roadmap to the roadmap of the Buddhahood, to the roadmap of the Buddhahood. This is extremely succinct. The words are so clear, very powerful, comprehensive, and economy words, just 14 verses. And you get the complete roadmap to enlightenment. And just see that each one of these we try our best to do in your life. And if you're doing that, you're actually walking on the roadmap of enlightenment. Okay. Okay, together. The foundation of all good qualities is a kind and perfect pure Guru. Correct devotion to him is the root of the path. By clearly seeing this and applying great effort, please bless me to rely upon him with great respect. Understanding that the precious freedom of rebirth is found only once, is greatly meaningful and is difficult to find again. Please bless me to generate the mind that unceasingly day and night takes its essence. This life is as impermanent as a water bubble. Remember how quickly it decays and death comes. After death, just like a shadow follows the body, the results of virtuous and non-virtuous karma follow. Finding a firm and definite conviction in this, please bless me always to be careful, to abandon even the slightest negativity and accomplish all virtuous deeds. Samsaric splendors are unsatisfying and unreliable. Seeking them is the door to all suffering. Recognizing those shortcomings, please bless me to generate a strong wish for the bliss of liberation. Held by this pure thought, mindfulness, alertness, great cushion and rise. The root of the teaching is keeping the Pratimoksha vows. Please bless me to accomplish this essential practice. Just as I have fallen into the sea of samsara, so have all other migratory beings. Please bless me to see this, train in Supreme Bodhicitta, and bear the responsibility of freeing migratory beings. Even if I develop Bodhicitta, but I don't practice the 3 types of morality, I'll not achieve enlightenment. With my clear recognition of this, please bless me to practice the Bodhisattva vows with great energy. Once I pacify distractions to wrong objects and correctly analyze the meaning of reality, please bless me to generate quickly within my mind stream the unified path of come abiding special insight. Having become a pure vessel by doing the general path, please bless me to enter the holy gateway of the fortunate ones, the Supreme Vajravegal. At that time, the basis of accomplishing the 2 attainments is keeping pure vows and samaya. As I become firmly convinced of this, please bless me to protect these vows and pledges of my life. Then, having realized the importance of the 2 stages, essence Vajrayana, by practicing with great energy, never giving up the 4 sessions, please bless me to realize the teaching of the Holy Guru. Like that, may the Gurus who showed the noble path and the spiritual friends who practice it have long lives, please bless me to pacify completely all out any inner hindrances. In all my lives, never separated from perfect Gurus, may enjoy the magnificent Dharma by completing the qualities of stages and the paths, may quickly attain the state of Vajradhara. Okay, so this text is composed by, this is which we read just now, the foundation of all good qualities, was composed by Lama Tsongkhapa. The main statue here. He was a 14th century great Tibetan master and an incredibly great literary giant, as well as the enlightened, the being. Just since a little boy, like age 4, 5, 6, 7, he used to have all these visions of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Then he's the one whose praise we're going to recite, which yesterday I indicated that this was actually the one he composed for his own teacher. And the teacher erased the teacher's name and replaced that with his student's name, saying that this praise fits better with you rather than with me. And then it became so what he said all over in Tibet. Okay, so first we'll say this in English, followed by in the Tibetan. You are Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of non-referential compassion, and Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, destroyer of hosts of demons without exception. Tsongkhapa, crown jewel of the sages of the land of snows, lost on top by your feet and make prostrations. And reading that in Tibetan, with the melody, we skipped the 3rd line for the purpose of accommodating the melody. Otherwise, when you recite it just without the melody, you can say all the 5 lines. So zo gama lo sai ta me sham la so wa ne me ze de je re se te me ke me wa bo ja me yang ha je ke me zo ye zo ga ma lo sa ta me sham la so wa ne. You are Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of non-referential compassion, and Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, destroyer of hosts of demons without exception. Tsongkhapa, crown jewel of the sages, land of snows, Lord Santa, at your feet and make prostrations. Okay, next is, once you have the road map, then you have to walk. How to walk? This is the generally the mind of consummate yoga. This is how to walk now. So the road map is given to us. How to walk? How to walk? The four things. Walk in the meditation, single point of meditation. Walk in the renunciation. Walk in the Bodhicitta. Walk in the wisdom of emptiness. So these are the four things to make a walk, to take a walk to Buddhahood. Okay, so first the single point of meditation, which we did yesterday. We'll do it. We'll quickly do this for 5 minutes. Today I'm going to quickly explain, give the instructions again. From tomorrow, no instructions. Okay. The four things to keep in mind for a good meditation. 1, body posture. Number 2, focal point. Number 3, identifying the errors of meditation. Number 4, applying the remedies to overcome the errors. 1, body posture. Body posture, cross-legged if possible. The left foot on your right leg and the right foot on your left leg. This is the cross-leg position. And the backbone always upright. Always upright. Don't lean against the support until you have the body ache problem, backache problem, knee problem. And if you have problem with your knees and so forth, you can do meditation sitting on the chair. There's no issue. It's fine. But what is so important is that try your best to keep your body upright without leaning against the support. That's so important. So, if possible, try to make it a habit to keep your body always upright. Even when not meditating, still you can keep your body upright. You can lean against the support when not meditating, but keep your body upright. This is very important. Then the next is your head tilted forward a little bit with your eyes not closed, eyes half open, 45 degrees cast down, and ignore. And if you learn a meditation with eyes closed, I'm giving the warning, it's very dangerous. And I'm not going to say how. If you're interested, you can ask me later. Okay. And that eyes should not be closed. And once you become really good in meditation, then eyes closed, eyes open, no difference. When you're a beginner, always try with eyes open. 45 degrees, just for the eyes half open, 45 degrees cast down, and ignore. Okay. Then the tip of the tongue should touch the upper palate to avoid excessive accumulation of saliva in your mouth. Why? Accumulated saliva can be very disturbing in a meditation. And your teeth and the lips in the natural course. Breathe normally. Don't force your breath. Don't control your breath. Let it happen very naturally and smoothly. Right hand on your left hand, tips of two thumbs joining, standing, forming a triangle. Place the two hands in your lap in a restful state. And your body, while it is upright, keep it flexible. It should not be rigid. Okay, good. Now, how many of you during the COVID time, you've been sitting all the time because of which you start to have the backache problem? How many had that issue? Raise hands. Oh, many of you. Okay. So when it does happen, or if you're a regular meditator, daily meditator, if you have these, particularly with the backache problem, then we need to do some physical exercises just for this backache, and it will be extremely relieving. Okay, but if you have spine injury, then to do this exercise or not, you have to judge it yourself. Okay, if you don't have surgery, if your body is otherwise all right, you can do this exercise. This is very helpful for us. Okay, you want to try? Okay, good. What you do is that you first pull out your hand. Okay, then put the two hands on your knees like this. Knees like this. And the arms straight. Okay, arms straight. And your right shoulder, take it in like this. Right shoulder, take it in like this. Okay, with the body straight and the right arm straight and the shoulder in. Okay, and the left hand can be a little bent. Can be bent, and try to move your right shoulder to your left knee as close as possible, while arm should be straight. Okay, 3 times. 1, up, 2, 3. Okay, do you feel your body, the back is stretching? This is very good exercise. Okay, now the same thing, your left shoulder out, and your right arm can be bent, but the left arm should be straight. Okay, shoulder out, and do the same 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Okay, again, right shoulder out, and the arm should be straight. Left arm, which you move, the arm should be straight, and the other arm can be a little bent. 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now the left. 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. How do you feel? Good. Good. Okay, if you do this, particularly when you start to have the pain because of the prolonged sitting, sedentary lifestyle, sitting all the time, and then you start having the computer all the time, sit all the time, meditate all the time, meditating for a long time, then you start to feel the pain. With this, you do this exercise regularly for like 2-3 days, the pain will be over, right? Okay. The next is the breathing exercise. Breathing exercise. Pull out your 2 hands. Okay. Then the 2 thumbs inside, wrap it with the other fingers, upside down, put in your knees, straight. Okay, so with this, what you do is that, first you look at me. Just look at me, you don't do it. You pull the two fists through your legs like this, then through your ribs like this, and then as it reaches the armpit, you throw in the front like this. Okay, let's do it. Straight on the knees, on your legs, ribs, then okay, when you throw, don't throw forcefully. Don't throw forcefully. After 3 days, you will have so much pain. You're getting it? Do it very gently, like this. Let's do it again. On your knees, legs, ribs, very gently. Don't do it forcefully. Okay. So now with this, then you move it to your left side, right? Both hands to the left side. Look at me. Look at me. So what you said, your right fist should hit the left armpit, not the top armpit. Okay. Good. Then the left hand, the first finger, release the first finger, and the hind side of the first finger, the back of the first finger, block your right nostril. Right. Good. And not with the front, hind side. You getting it? Not like this. It should be like this. Like this. Good. Okay. Then take a deep breath. Put your hand on your knee and breathe out. Again. Again. Okay. So likewise, we again do the same thing. Through your knees, legs, ribs, front. And then to your right side. Okay, let go of the first finger. With the hand side, block the left nostril 3 times. Put in the knees. Good. Then, third round, through your knees, legs, ribs, in the front. Now, put the 2 fists on your 2 knees. Breathe through both nostrils. Okay. Now, what I'd like to do is just touch your belly and observe. Touch your belly and see how you are breathing. Belly, not the top. Belly. Right? Touch belly. As you breathe in, just observe what is your stomach doing. Don't look at somebody else. Just observe your own stomach. As you breathe in, stomach is going in or going out. Be very honest. Okay, try. Then breathe out. What's the stomach doing? Going in or going out? Okay. Just see, when you breathe in, the stomach also goes in. Raise hands. Observe it. Do it again. Okay. Breathe in. Okay. As you breathe in, the stomach goes in. Raise hands. How many of your stomach goes in? Okay. Now breathe out. Okay, first breathe in and then observe when you breathe out. Breathe in. Put your hand on tummy. Breathe out. Okay, as you breathe out, stomach comes out. Raise hands. Okay, that is wrong breathing. That's wrong breathing. This is what many people do, right? And because of this, if you are a little tense, mental, this sadness, tension happens, then tension will become even worse because you don't know how to breathe properly. And breathing and the mind is very closely connected. And how many you notice when somebody is nervous or when somebody is little unhappy, the person breathes from the chest. You notice that? Huh? You notice that? Okay. Which means that the person is not using the lungs properly. Person is using only the top part of the lungs. So because only the top part of the lungs is used, so the air that you breathe in and breathe out is so less. Because of which your body is intense, requires so much oxygen, but you're not getting enough oxygen. Because of this, it will breathe faster. Then it happens like this. When you become tense. You're getting it? So we have to learn how to breathe properly. So this will greatly help us in many ways. When you breathe in, the stomach should go out, not go in. You getting it? And if it doesn't happen, you have to practice it. Okay, let's try it. Just put a hand on the stomach and see how you. Once you know how to breathe properly, then you don't have to touch it. You breathe automatically happen. Okay, let's see. As you breathe in, make your tummy come out as much as possible. Okay, again. And as you breathe out, squeeze the tummy in as much as possible. Out. In. Breathe in and the stomach should come out. Breathe out and stomach should go in. Okay, let's do it 3 times. Good. Okay. Good. Now we'll do the meditation. For the meditation, we talked about the body posture, done. Next is the focal point. Focal point, we just focus on 2 things. One is the breath. Count the breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Cycle 1, again, breathe in, breathe out. Cycle 2, this is what you could do for 5 minutes. And when you're on your own, if you are a beginner in meditation, don't do it for 5 minutes. Do it for just 21 cycles. 21 cycles is 1.5 minutes. 21 cycles is 1.5 minutes. And even if it goes so well, even if you like it so much, still keep a short break. 10 seconds, 15 seconds, keep a short break. Again, resume. 21 cycles. Again, stop. Even though you are so excited, do it. It's so good. Why should it be too short duration? Still stop it. Give few seconds. You are, in a way, learning how to look for the quality, not for the quantity. So, what is important is that with the meditation, the mental scattering, the 2 errors, mental scattering and mental excitement should not happen. Okay. So, one is they just working on the counting the breath simultaneously or multitasking. While counting the breath, you also focus on a tiny white dot, 2 mm or 3 mm in diameter between your nose and upper lip. Visualize that. Your eyes should not be looking at it. Your eyes just 45 degrees cast down. Leave it. Your mental consciousness should think of this. And meanwhile count. That 2 should happen together. And many people think that is not possible. It is possible. You getting it? So there are more questions there. The questions on related to logic, related to philosophy, these questions come. But don't worry, it is something that can happen. Number 3, identify the errors of meditation. How good is your meditation is not determined by how good is your body posture. It is determined by how good are you in checking the mental errors, mental excitement and mental anxiety. Mental anxiety is where your mind becomes inactive, lethargic, sinking, drowsy, sleepy. That is mental laxity. And the opposite of which is mental excitement, the overactivity of the mind. So when your mind gets scattered here and there, and the mind can be extremely deceptive, it can deceive you very easily and take you to a tour. While you should not be going tour, your mind can take you to a tour, and you forgot that you are meditating. You getting it? Okay. So you should be very careful. If these two things happen, no need to worry. Go for number 4. Applying the remedies to overcome the errors. What are the remedies? What are the remedies? 2 remedies. Introspection and mindfulness. Very good. Introspection is to keep an eye on your mind to see what your mind is doing. Once in a while, to see if your mind is meditating, or is already distracted, or it is feeling sleepy. If any of these 2 problems happen, then the job of the introspection is done. Next is the mindfulness. In other words, apply mindfulness. The job of the mindfulness is to bring the mind back to the intended object of meditation. Ready? Okay, 5 minutes. Okay. Next is Bodhicitta. Renunciation, Bodhicitta, and the wisdom of emptiness. And these three will be in the form of guided meditation. So, single point of meditation which we did, shamatha meditation which we did in the form of your personal practice, personal meditation, no guided. But for the next 3, will be guided for the next maybe 2 or 3 days. So after that, no guided meditation, you will have to do it on your own. So the first meditation which we did, this is shamatha meditation or single-pointed meditation. The remaining 3 are going to be analytical meditation. You should know how to do the analysis. So what actually transforms your mind is the analytical meditation. And this shamatha meditation will help us to stabilize this, whatever we have accomplished with the help of the analytical meditation. So what actually transforms our mind, gade, happens with the analytical meditation. So we need to know how to do the analytical meditation. And for this, the next 3 days, or maybe 4 days. Next 3 or 4 days, I'll help you. It's going to be guided meditation. Then after 3 or 4 days, you should be able to do it on your own without being guided. Can you do that? Okay, did you understand what I said? Right? Okay. So, the guided here is I'll just give the instructions, and your job is just try to follow the instructions and try to, as much as possible, invoke the experiences to the best you can. Invoke the experiences. So this, when experience happens, stay in this experience for a while. This is the analytical meditation. And later on, you should know how to actually think, analyze, so that you go from the gate to the second gate to the paragate, parasamgate. This is what we should learn to become self-sufficient. Are you ready? The first is renunciation. Renunciation means to renounce your miseries. To renounce the miseries, we need to know how to renounce the causes of the miseries. And the causes of the miseries, the Buddha identified the root of the cause for all the miseries is self-grasping ignorance. But there are grosser levels of ignorance as well to become rid of. To remove these, the ignorances consist of 4 kinds which the Buddha identified. Of course, there are thousands and thousands of the versions of ignorance, but the 4 identified which are related to our miseries, creating miseries. First one is ignorance misconceiving impermanent phenomena as permanent. Second, ignorance misconceiving suffering as happiness. Third, ignorance misconceives impure things as pure. And finally, the ignorance which misconceives what is selfless nature as of selfhood. To overcome these misconceptions, or the 4 kinds of ignorance, the Buddha taught the 4 seals to arouse the renunciation. The first, all-encompassing is impermanent. Let us think of the very close friends, your family members, like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and today, some of them are already gone. They're no more with us. And your youth also. Your youth. And today, when you were 10 years old, 15 years old, now, this is all gone. And some of us, I'm in my 50s. So, and your youth, or when you're 20s, 30s, they're all gone. And those who are in your 20s today, after 20 years, after another 20 years, 30 years, you will see that those days of my youth are already gone. This reality. And if you go back in time, 200 years ago, there were perhaps like a few million people in the world, or maybe like 1 or 2 billions people in the world, and they are children, they're young people like yourself, or elders, their parents, and the children. They have so much expectation out of the related to their career of their life, and the parents have expectation over the children's career and so forth. Whether these career ambitions, whether they're accomplished or not accomplished, finished. Not even a single person then 200 years ago is survived today. Not even a single person is survived today. It's not that they are unfortunate, they are now gone. We are very fortunate we survived. No, 200 years down in the future, in time, not even a single person today, 8 billion human beings, will be alive then. It's going to be very different generations coming up. What the world is going to be like, we never know. So, you have so much of stress, tension, joys, expectations, careers, and so forth. 200 years later, everything is gone. Out of 8 billion human beings, how many of us are going to be remembered? Very less number of people. And in most cases, how many of you remember your great-grandparents? How many of you remember your great-great-great-parents? No, we don't remember. We don't know whether or not they existed. Logically, we say that they existed, but in your memory, you have no clue that somebody existed like 200 years before you. The fact that you exist today is the proof that your ancestors existed. You are the outcome, you are the result of that, but you have no clue. Likewise, 200 years down the line, in the future, even your existence will not be remembered, will leave no trace. This impermanent is true. This is what the Buddha indicated as whatever stands falls, whatever is gathered disperses, and whatever is accumulated gets exhausted, and whatever is born dies. This is what the Buddha taught, impermanent. That's true. This being impermanence means that composite phenomena they remain static. They're always changing. Changing means changing from the first moment to the second moment. What the second moment is going to be like is determined by the first moment. And the second moment is determined by the first moment. So we are like being thrown into a very fast moving train. Train is so fast moving. See, who decides where this train is taking you? The train driver. If the train driver is your mom, dad, no doubt the train will take you to a picnic spot. Faster the train moves, the more happy you are. But you are so apprehensive as to just throw you into the train. You don't know where this train is taking you. And if the train driver is dictated by the terrorist, no doubt they will take you to a slaughterhouse. And in our case, who is the train driver? Our mind is the train driver. Unfortunately, our mind is under the dictate, under the force of the true terrorist, self-grasping, ignorant, self-centered attitude. As long as our mind is contaminated by these two, particularly self-grasping ignorance, we will never have happiness. It will only take us to the miseries, to slaughterhouse. Like what kind of miseries? Misery of sickness, aging, death, tension, depression, anxiety, anguish, and so forth. So this is what the Buddha indicated as all contaminated things are suffering nature. Yes, that's true. When will these sufferings stop? 2022 stopped on its own. When will this suffering that we go through will stop? Remember that this suffering will never stop on their own. Impermanent phenomena, there are three kinds. One category is, no matter what you do to continue, it never continues, it stops on its own. Like 2022, your youth, the joys, celebrations which happened before, they all stopped on their own. There is a second class of impermanent phenomena, which never stops. No matter what you do, they never stop. For example, your mind, time, your being. They are impermanent, but the continuum never stops. No force can stop the flow of the second category of the impermanent phenomena. The third category of phenomena, which never stops until you put a concerted effort, like your miseries, like your self-grasping ignorance, like your attachment, anger, jealousy, and so forth. So all these miseries will stop only if you put concerted effort. Okay, what kind of effort? Effort to counteract the root of the problem. What is the root of the problem? Self-grasping ignorance. So today, since that we are not introduced to emptiness, we are not going to speak too much about emptiness here. So we need to remove the self-grasping. How? By introducing the counterforce, which is the wisdom. What is the wisdom? Wisdom is the discerning mind whose apprehension of the object tallies with the reality. What is the reality? The reality is what the Buddha taught us, the third seal. Everything is of the nature of emptiness and selflessness. What is this emptiness, selflessness? Okay, very quickly, that the fear that we go through in the dream is all because of the believing in the dream is real. The moment you wake up, you see that all the dream contents, they're empty of being real, emptiness. All the contents of dream, the moment you discover that all the contents of the dream, they're empty of being real, you get so much relief. All the fears of the terrorists attacking you in the dream, the buildings collapsing in the dream, landslides, flood washing you into, sucking you into the ocean in the dream. The moment you wake up, none of these can affect you. You're freed from all these stress, fear, anxiety, and so forth. This is the meaning of transcending sorrow. You wake up, and the dream contents will stop to affect you. You transcend all the sorrows of the dream. So, the Buddha taught that everything is nature, emptiness, selflessness. Wake up from the sleep of unconventional dream. So with this, what happens is that you attain your goal. What is your goal? Transcending sorrow is absolute peace, the fourth seal. So, stay in this experience. Imagine that you wake up from the unconventional dream, all your miseries dissolve, to discover that nothing of this exists objectively or as real. They are seen as just empty of object reality. Stay in this experience for a while. Okay. We slowly move to Bodhicitta. Okay, just come out of meditation for a few seconds before we move to the next, which is Bodhicitta. Are you ready? This Bodhicitta is the universal compassion. Universal compassion, wanting to become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings, altruism, also referred to as altruism, altruistic intention to become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. And this is something which we have never thought before. We require a great support, and the greatest support is the triple gem, Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Just think of all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas with you in space, and that they are there to inspire us, telling us that you want happiness, and happiness is a result of the compassion, universal compassion. Practice universal compassion, and then you can see from the face, body language, the exuding compassion towards you. Just reflect on this. And also think of your two parents, your children, all of family members, and all the sentient beings with you, that you are inspiring everybody to join you in this journey of cleansing the mind of the mental defilements and to embrace all the sentient beings with total love and affection. With this mind, the Bodhicitta practice, we will do that. Actually, there are two methods, but since that you are not introduced to that yet, we'll do that on the basis of what is known as 4 immeasurables. Of the 4 immeasurables, we'll do only the first 2 immeasurables. Okay. So just flow your mind according to instructions. Even if at times things may turn out to be so superficial, it doesn't matter. It is like training in the training in the musical instrument, playing the musical instrument. Initially, you just mimic the teachers, and then there's no music there, it's just noise there. But gradually, with the practice, the noise will gradually subside and the music starts to flow. This is how you practice. This is the meaning of practice. Initially, it may sound so superficial what you're doing. What you are saying does not resonate with what your natural thinking, the things, and then gradually it becomes so real, and then you see that real joy and happiness dawns in you. Okay, with this in mind, the first immeasurable compassion. How good would it be that all my dear mother sentient beings are freed from suffering and the causes of suffering. And causes of suffering primarily consist of self-grasping ignorance and self-centered attitude. May all my dear mother sentient beings be freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. I will take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas witnessing the remaining such a courageous commitment and intense happiness and proud of you. This pride and happiness invoke their compassionate mission minds to send forth nectars of soothing lights towards you and all dear sentient beings. The mere touch of lights and nectars with the bodies makes yours, washes up all the miseries and cause of miseries from you and from all dear sentient beings. And you witnessing such a miracle is happening to us all our dear sentient beings. You are intense happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Next, immeasurable loving kindness. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the cause of happiness. Cause of happiness primarily consisting of wisdom of emptiness and the altruistic Bodhichitta. May all my dear mother sentient beings be endowed with happiness and the cause of happiness. I will take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the cause of happiness. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas witnessing the remaining such a courageous commitment, the intense happiness and proud of you. This pride and happiness invoke their compassionate omniscient minds to send forth nectars for soothing lights towards you and all dear sentient beings. The mere touch of lights and nectars with bodies of beings yours instills in all happiness and the cause of happiness in the minds of sentient beings yourself. And you witnessing such a miracle is happening towards all the dear sentient beings. You're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Underscoring all the immeasurables, practice of the immeasurables is the unconditional love towards all the beings. Just stay in this experience for a while. Imagine that you look in the eyes of each of the sentient beings with so much love and affection. To the extent that each of the beings feels themselves as so special in your eyes. With this mind, with folded hands, let us make a Bodhichitta commitment 3 times. Although it may be so superficial, it doesn't matter. This is how we practice. We are trying to revolutionize our thinking. I'll say this line of Bodhicitta and then we'll all repeat these 3 times together. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. Just abide in this most beautiful mind of Bodhicitta for a while. And slowly transform this beautiful mind of Bodhicitta that you have generated now into a spotlessly clean moon disk, 1.5 inches or 2 inches diameter, horizontally sitting with your heart. Okay, good. Okay, now we'll do the dedication prayer. It still is not complete, and now we are left with the remaining part. Tomorrow we'll do the complete form, and instructions will be much less tomorrow. So we'll do the complete from tomorrow. Okay, let's turn to page 52, the dedication prayer. Okay. I dedicate the merit thus gathered towards the realization that is in the prayers of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas of 3 times, and to the upholding the doctrine, scripture, and insight. May in all lives, through the force of this merit, never separate from the 4 wheels of the Mahayana vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, Bodhicitta, perfectly in the 2 stages. From my 2 collections, vast space that I've amassed, from working with effort in this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief waiting Buddha for all those whose minds blinded by ignorance. Teta Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhiswatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhiswatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhiswaha. Okay, 3 prostrations together.